Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price. Talk to you about you and your business. This is a series of articles at priceofbusiness.com. Why is it, one of them is on one of the series is why is it important to pitch to C-level executives? Now more than ever, it seems like there's so much transformative business activity going on out there. You've got to have a buy-in by the highest level of people in order to see change happen. Linda Parry has participated in this series of articles. She's with a company called Product Launchers. That's productlaunchers.co. And Linda, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
Hey, real quickly, Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself and Product Launchers.
Sure. My background, I'm a New York State licensed attorney with my master's in advertising, and I was senior vice president of a global marketing firm for 8 years before I recently ventured out on my own. The company is called Product Launchers, and simply put, we help inventors and companies launch products in the marketplace. So we have a lot of relationships with the major retailers, home shopping networks, and catalog companies, and we work with companies and do everything from sourcing design engineers to manufacturing facilities and all the way down to the marketing and the sales to help companies bring their products to market and give it lift within the marketplace.
What is the, in your pitch, in your article, as you talked about the importance of pitching to C-level individuals. How does that work in the context of product launchers?
Sure. Well, the CEO of the company is usually the one that's looking for new opportunities. So they're looking at their profit margin. They need to create a greater profit margin, and they're looking for opportunities in the marketplace. And product launches give them that new opportunity. So we work with the CEOs of the company to develop, to find out in the market what gaps there are, and what products we can bring to market to fill that void, that gap in the marketplace. And then we'll work with them, from the very beginning, from the concept phase to develop that product, and then we'll help them sell it as well. But working with the CEO is critical because they're the only ones that can make the decision within the organization. Anybody else is kind of like the game of telephone, and you talk to them and try to get the message to the CEO, but the message that eventually gets to the CEO is completely different from, what you first put out there.
How large typically are the companies that you're working with?
Companies of all different sizes, as small as a young inventor or a startup, and as large as Mars, the candy company.
Oh, really? Wow. And what would be the factors for you to be dealing with the larger ones versus the smaller ones, or is it all basically the same factors?
Same factors. We actually prefer working with the smaller businesses because, you can have that direct access to the C-level executive, and they want to be a part of the process more so than the larger companies. And when you're working with them, they're very hands-on, and everybody is focused on that one vision of getting the product into the marketplace, getting it the lift that is needed. So it's more rewarding working with the smaller businesses, and then once you get the first product in the door, and then it's about expanding on that and developing the full line for them. I mean, you don't just want to have one product that you're bringing to retail, but if you can develop a full wall, if you can get the full planogram, it's so much more beneficial for the company because they will reap the rewards of that full wall, and you'll have a better relationship with the retailer in the long run because it's, more lucrative for them as well.
So how do you begin engagement with the C-level individual?
How do I start an engagement with them?
Yeah, how do you begin that engagement? How do you start the conversation that can lead to business action?
You need to be very creative. I mean, those individuals are very difficult to locate. So you need to go onto LinkedIn, go onto Google, research them, research information about the company, and find a golden nugget that you can bring to their attention. So if you see that there is an opportunity in the marketplace for a specific product, for example, so I'll just give you an example of this. If you are familiar with the frozen yogurt companies around the U.S., and those are very popular right now, and they have toppings on the frozen yogurt that's not sold in a retail environment, but is very successful in Red Mango or other frozen yogurt companies like that. So I reached out to the toppings companies, to the CEO, and said, listen, we need to take this product, we need to repackage it, and we need to bring it to the grocery chains, to the drugstore chains, to other relevant outlets so that we can sell it directly to retailers and they can have toppings for the frozen yogurt. So we see that it's working successfully in one environment. We want to bring it into the retail environment. So I'll reach out to that CEO. I'll give him my 60-second pitch, and I'll say, listen, give me 60 seconds, and in 60 seconds, I'm going to tell you how you can make more money. And then I'll have all of my bulleted points. I'll go through that list, and I'll explain to them exactly how I'm going to increase revenues, and then they'll give me that in-person appointment where I can go into greater detail and further explain what I want to do for the company to generate sales.
Very interesting, very interesting. And kind of give us an overview of some of the companies, some of the products you've taken to launch.
Sure. Lots of different types of companies, from filtered water bottles to snow brushes, ice scrapers, and squeegees. But one that's kind of interesting is a product of our own. So we don't only help clients bring products to the marketplace, but we also have our own products that we invent and bring to market. So one such example is a new outdoor tossing game that just launched at Toy Fair, and it's called Cannonball. And it's very simple. The idea was conceived with 2 Pringles cans and tennis balls on the shores of Montauk. And you just lob the ball back and forth to your teammate using your hands. And it's simple, but it's a lot of fun. And it's portable, and it's great for the beach, picnics, the barbecue. So we brought this to Toy Fair, and we love trade shows because that's where you can put your idea out there and see how people respond to it, and you can see whether or not it'll be well received. Well, it was very well received. I got us on the Today Show, on Fox, and several print publications, and at the trade show, several major retailers expressed interest in moving forward. So not only will we be selling it this summer through hundreds of toy, camping, and convenience stores, but we're also in negotiations right now with a major retailer that have a longer review process, and they'll be reviewing it for the spring 2015 season. And we'll know within a week or two whether or not we made that cut. But thus far, it appears to be quite promising.
Linda Parry has been our guest. She's with a company called Product Launcher, productlauncher.co. You can see a recent article. Look under my name there at priceofbusiness.com. That's priceofbusiness.com. And Linda, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kevin.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you. Just want to remind you, best content here. Show some over there at usadareview.com. And this is The Price of Business.